It was a great game, and we lost to an extremely good team. I think that's an understatement. They showed why they won the conference tournament and had a great year in probably the best Division III basketball conference in the country. And I'm really proud of our effort. We got down early. Just we can show our team and talk to them about how physical Wheaton is and how hard they play and some of the things they do. But until you really get in there, it's hard to actually realize and understand that. And they jumped on us early. We didn't give up, and we battled and made it a competitive game in the second half, and just couldn't get a couple plays there to get it within striking range. But I'm really proud of our guys' effort, and we went down 20 and didn't quit and got it all the way down to I guess the final was 7. So,
Julian, talk about this ride, about not only this year but the whole ride of being a Rose-Hulman engineer, and what this impact has been for you.
It's been awesome, man. I couldn't ask for any better. These group of guys, every single year in and year out, day in and day out, have been awesome. And the coaching staff is, one of a kind. I couldn't ask for any better. It's taught me a lot. I've grown a lot since my first year, my freshman year, and I've grown a lot since the first game of this season, as a player and as a person. And it's taught me a lot being the captain of this team this year, and I've learned a lot from the other captains of my previous years. And I think every one of our teammates can say the same thing, that they've grown a lot through this season as well.
You talk about that growth. You came in as a freshman, Julian, and kind of weren't really in the position to be assertive, take the game over, and now here at your senior year, you're kind of asked for a different role where you were asked to do that a lot. Kind of talk about that progression for you and how that was over the course of your career.
It took a while. It had to bash my head, and Coach had to a little bit to be a lot more assertive on the offensive end. And this year it showed, statistic-wise. But I think in practice, my teammates also pushed me, coaches and teammates. In practice, playing me more physical, telling me myself I need to score in this situation. I need to be more aggressive, and it showed on the court, and I've applied it to my game on the court this year.
And my last question for you, Julian: 82 wins, 3 NCAA tournament trips. Talk about this senior class and what your friends mean to you here.
My friends they mean everything to me. All the seniors, every last one of them, we came in together. Didn't really know each other that well, and we clicked, I would say, instantly. And they're one of a kind. They're unique, each and every one of them, including myself. And I think that's why we click so well, on and off the court. We have each other's back in every situation, and I couldn't ask for a better senior class to keep me company.
You have anything else for Julian?
Yeah, for Julian.
Okay. If you want to go ahead, Julian, you can. Yep. And then, Coach, talk about, I want to break this into kind of 2 different questions. First of all, talk about your senior class, not Julian, the rest of the seniors, and all of the impact that they've made on this program as well. We'll talk about Julian in the next question.
Well, the senior class is a class of kids that has really set the bar high for Rose-Hulman basketball. They've established a legacy. They won 16 games their first year after we had a losing record the year before they came, and they're, as I've said many times over, they're the most successful class in the history of Rose-Hulman basketball, which has been around for well over 100 years. And that's not it's not an opinion, it's fact, it's numbers. Most wins, 3 tournament appearances, 5 championships with regular season and conference. And they've also, along with a couple classes in the past, really established a family feel, or reestablished a family feel about our program. We had Nate and Austin here tonight, and we just really have a close-knit bunch of guys. I think people say that all the time, and I'm not sure if it's always true, but coaches say that all the time. But it's really true, and that's a large reason for the success too.
And talk about Julian. You've been asked a lot, to compare him to other players. Just you've had a chance to coach quite a few great players, and I know Julian's on that very, very short list.
Well, he's on the short list, all right. He's the only one on the list in terms of the best. I've been asked that numerous times the last few weeks, and I told guys this in the locker room. I would never say that he's the best, but now it's over. He's done. He's the best player that I've coached at Rose-Hulman in 25 years, and Brian Egley was a tremendous player, and so it's no disrespect to Brian. And Brian and I exchanged emails this week, and I'm going to send him an email here soon, maybe with a copy of this quote. But Julian's just done it on both ends of the floor. And then the other impact that Julian Strickland has had on this team and program is something I discussed with the team after the game in the locker room, and that is that a lot of the things that we do and a lot of who we are in terms of family and team, and a lot of the reason it's a joy to coach this group is because when your best player is that kind of guy who everyone on the team loves him, from the other best player, whoever that is, to the worst players, the coaches, the managers. He is just a joy to be around. He's got no ego. I've had to teach him to have a little ego. I've had to teach him to be a little bit of a jerk, and he learned. But his general goodness, he's the best teammate in the world, and that really has permeated our program and had as big an impact as any basket he's ever scored.
And just the year in general, when you think back to this season, you lost so many parts from last year, and yet you come back and win 22 games, the third most in school history. What does this year mean when you start thinking in those terms? Well,
I told the team that last year's team was probably the best team I've coached, even though we had to overcome Austin Weatherford and Nate Gissentanner, who were problems. They're watching this interview. Last year's team was probably the best, but this is probably the most gratifying. We didn't really know what we had coming in. We started 3-3. We returned one of our top 5 players from last year, one of our top 6 from last year in terms of scoring and minutes played, and that's really hard to do. And I've just seen them all evolve. Julian evolved into a go-to scorer, up to a scoring average, 8 or 9 a game. That's a lot with good percentages. And but then Jordy and Alec assumed roles that they never had in the past, and then guys like Jimmy and Tyler and Corey and Mike, and our guys off the bench, Matt Losing, I'm forgetting many guys, but everybody evolved into roles. Jake, our freshman, Colin Wade, evolved into roles during the course of the season after starting 3-3. So this was a heck of an evolution, and I'm really proud of it. And it didn't come on accident. We earned being here, and that's what I told the guys before the game. We earned this opportunity.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, just thanks to our guys. Nobody understands how blessed I am. And how lucky I am to go to battle with that group of guys in the locker room. They're really a joy.
Congratulations on a great season, Coach.
Thank you.